Sorry if there's some overlap here, folks, but just to make sure it all gets in there. Now to the AIDS malaria link. University of Washington researchers who estimated the impact of the overlapping infections concluded that the interaction could be blamed for thousands of HIV infections and almost 1 million bouts of malaria over 2 decades in just one part of Kenya. The research, published in a December 2006 edition of the journal Science, highlights the need for a joint attack on both epidemics. Malaria sickens up to 500 million people annually and kills more than 1 million, mostly young children and mostly in Africa, which also bears the highest HIV burden. Sub-Saharan Africa is home to 24.7 million HIV-infected people. About 2 million died this year, according to the latest UN update. Scientists have long suspected the two diseases fuel each other. The new study created a mathematical model to figure out just how much they do. HIV is most easily spread when patients have high virus levels in their blood. A bout of malaria causes a temporary surge, a stunning 7-fold increase in those levels, said lead researcher Laith Abu-Radad, a scientist at the University of Washington. The surge may last 6 weeks to 8 weeks. That is longer than it takes adults in intense malaria areas, where people get the parasitic disease once or twice a year, to recover from a typical bout and feel up to sexual activity again, he said. Moreover, HIV patients are more susceptible to malaria reinfection because of their weakened immune systems. Armed with that information, Abu Radad returned to Kisumu, Kenya, a region where he found good data tracking HIV and malaria prevalence over decades, and even information on sexual behavior such as average number of partners and volume of sex partners. Interesting. In regions where both diseases are common, malaria may be responsible for almost 5% of HIV infections, and HIV may be behind 10% of malaria episodes. In Kisumu, that translates into 8,500 extra HIV infections and 980,000 extra malaria bouts over 2 decades, he concluded. Again, mccainisthrough is pushing junk science and is way behind on current events. Do join us in 2009, kiddo. Lastly, and speaking of junk science, since we responded to your last global warming video, you've been awful quiet on this subject. Some reason for that? We'd like to challenge, better yet, we dare mccainisthrough to put up a blog that we can link to, cache, and refute. You obviously have a lot of time on your hands. This should be no problem for you. Put up your global warming and other musings there. Just put the link on the left side of your channel. We'll check it in a few weeks. Will mccainisthrough take the challenge or concede? So again, mccainisthrough has no idea what she's talking about on this DDT nonsense. Again, she thinks like putting up one little video on it refutes it. Trying to get popularity off of How the World Works, his channel, and he's right about DDT. DDT should have never been banned. It's not 1962 anymore, mccainisthrough, and Rachel Carson is dead, okay, and she's not coming back. So you go ahead and continue to push your junk science, and we will continue to call you out on it. Have a nice day, and don't thank us now. I think this kid's been eating out of the tackle box. My cat agrees too, right?